President Trump's Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, just dropped the hammer on corruption. She pulled the security clearances from 37 officials who abused their power, leaked secrets, and lied to the American people. These were the very people who tried to sabotage Trump from the start. But now they're exposed and everything's being torn wide open. And what Tulsi is about to reveal in this video exposes their corruption, and it's going to leave you stunned. This is Andy with TrendingPolitics.com. Hit like, subscribe, and let's get into this.
All right, breaking news tonight. The Trump administration continuing to root out the deep state. Earlier today, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard stripped 37 security clearances over a Barack Obama-ordered intelligence report of Russian interference in the 2016 election, which launched Russiagate. She announced the move on X, saying in part that the 37 who had their clearances revoked, quote, abused the public trust by politicizing, manipulating intelligence, leaking classified intelligence without authorization, and or committing intentional, egregious violations of tradecraft standards.
President Trump put Tulsi Gabbard in charge for a reason, because he knew she'd go after the swamp with no mercy. That's exactly what she's doing. Cutting off 37 insiders who betrayed America is the first step. But Tulsi also revealed how the deep state twisted intelligence to push their lies. And once you hear it, you'll see exactly why Trump is cleaning house.
The intelligence community assessed in the months leading up to that November 2016 election that, yes, Russia was trying to interfere in our election by sowing discord and chaos, but stating over and over again that Russia did not appear to have any preference for one candidate over the other. They viewed both as equally bad for Russia's interest. The big shift that happened around what is now commonly known as Russiagate was after the election. In early December, President Obama called a meeting of his National Security Council leadership. From that meeting, there was directive that was delivered from President Obama to then Obama's DNI, James Clapper, to then CIA Director John Brennan, to come up with a new intelligence community assessment that contradicted the ones that had been produced previously by the intelligence community.
That's why Trump trusted Tulsi. She isn't afraid to call out the lies. The swamp rewrote intelligence just to smear Trump and protect their power. But here's the kicker. They did it without Hillary's phony Steele dossier. And Tulsi rips the mask off the entire thing. Watch.
This new one said that Russia, Putin, did try to interfere in the election because he wanted Trump to win. They did this using shoddy intelligence, little pieces of intelligence gathered from places that intelligence professionals refused to reference previously because they knew it was substandard and did not meet the quality and the credibility that is expected of them as intelligence professionals. And they used the Steele dossier, knowing John Brennan knew, James Clapper knew, others within the intelligence community knew that the Steele dossier was a political manufactured document intended to be weaponized against then candidate Donald Trump.
So think about this. Trump wins the election fair and square. And the swamp responds with all this fake intelligence reports and attacks on him. That's their entire playbook. But Tulsi's bringing the proof now, and Trump is using this to expose them right now. And what Tulsi's about to expose is showing how far the swamp is willing to go to destroy him.
The creation of this manufactured intelligence assessment that essentially had the intent of undermining the voices and votes of the American people who elected Donald Trump. They were not happy with the outcome of that election. And so they created this politicized, weaponized piece of fake intelligence that, as you mentioned, then went on to serve as a foundation for everything that came after, the multiple investigations, the years-long Mueller investigation, 2 congressional impeachments, investigations in the raid at Mar-a-Lago. The list goes on and on. Ultimately, the real crime here was against the American people, because this action singularly undermined the integrity of our democratic republic.
And the damage didn't stop in 2016. The swamp doubled down in 2020, covering up Hunter's laptop while trying to crush Trump again. Same liars, the same tactics, the same goal: stop Trump at all costs. But Tulsi makes it clear Trump isn't backing down. He's not going to. And the purge of these traitors is just beginning.
And then when they were unsuccessful in winning that election, were they then determined to undermine and sabotage the incoming president? Did they also put the cinder blocks on the scale of the 2020 election by pre-bunking a laptop that they authenticated as very real in March of 2020 by pre-bunking it with big tech companies, warning them they may be a victim of disinformation, and then from 2020 to 2024, bloody up Trump. In other words, do we have deep state actors that are trying to influence our presidential elections? Is that what we're concluding here?
Yes, we have people within the intelligence community. Again, when you look at this example of who President Obama charged with this task, John Brennan, James Clapper, James Comey at the highest levels, but also those who worked as careerists within the intelligence community who did not object to their manipulation and manufacturing of intelligence and actually helped them get there, all moving towards their partisan interests, that they were not happy with the outcome of this election, and they were willing to do whatever it took in order to try to undermine President Trump's administration during his first term in office. These are bad actors that have to be rooted out. Our national security depends on it.
So here's the truth. The swamp tried to overthrow President Trump with lies, leaks, fake intelligence. They thought they could get away with all of this forever. But now Trump has Tulsi Gabbard on the inside, ripping security clearances, exposing the traitors, and draining the swamp one by one. This isn't about Trump. It's about every American. It's about you and me, because we're sick of being lied to. The corrupt insiders played games with our democracy. And the swamp thought that they could bury the truth forever. They thought they could rewrite history and smear Trump and silence everyone who stood in their way. But Tulsi just proved that they were wrong. Every clearance that's stripped and every secret that's exposed, it's all crumbling in real time. And here's why this matters to you. If they could lie about Trump, they could lie about anything, anyone. They lied about Russia. They lied about Hunter Biden. They lied about the border. They even lied about the very institutions that were supposed to protect us. And every single time, it was about keeping their power while you and your family, or my family, paid the price. Think about what that means. These weren't harmless little lies. These lies cost America our security, our freedom, and in even some cases, our lives. When they fabricated Russiagate, they stole years from our country. Years wasted on this witch hunt, not to mention all of the finances, instead of fixing our problems. And when they covered up Hunter Biden's laptop, they rigged the conversation heading into 2020. When they smeared Trump, they were really smearing all of us who dared to vote for him. But now the tables are turning. Trump is back in charge, and he's back in charge in a big way. And Tulsi is cutting out the rot. And for the first time, the insiders are the ones who are scared running, because they know accountability is coming, finally. They know their grip on power is slipping, and they know that the American people were watching. And here's the part that they fear the most, that you're not alone anymore. Millions of Americans are waking up every single day. They see the lies. They see the corruption for the very first time in many cases, and we're refusing to stay silent. That's why the swamp is panicking. The way the media is melting down, because when Americans unite behind Trump and behind this mission and this movement, their entire playbook just falls apart. This fight isn't just about politics. It's about survival. It's about your voice, your vote, your freedom. And President Trump, he's not just defending himself. He doesn't have to. He's defending all of us. That's why the deep state fears him. That's why they hate Tulsi. And that's why this moment is so important. And here's the biggest part of it. The swamp isn't done scheming. They're going to throw everything they have at Trump, at Tulsi, at you and I. More fake investigations, more lies, more censorship, because they're desperate. But remember this, desperation is weakness. It means they know they're losing. So the question that I have for you is simple. Will you stand back or will you stand up? Because this isn't just about Trump's fight. It's our fight too. So make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be alerted when new content goes live, because we're just getting started. This is Andy with TrendingPolitics.com. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and I'll see you next time.